In this video we're going to go over how to do a background check on myself. Doing a background check on yourself can be done at the state level, and since you already know which areas you've lived in your previous life, you can check every single state, every single county, and you can do that by visiting our website sheriffsdepartment.net, and I'm about to show you how it works when it comes to doing a background check on yourself. So I'm going to use the state of Arizona for this example, but we have resources and they're very similar from state to state. They will certain states do have different laws and different procedures, so it will there are certain extremes where it's going to be completely different, but usually it's very similar. But I'm going to be using the state of Arizona for this example. So you just come down to sheriffsdepartment.net, click on Arizona, and we give you a nationwide check, and this covers all the states and many different databases. It's a very quick way of doing it. It's almost instantaneous. If you just want to look at the direct resources at the state, at the government level, you want to scroll down a little bit. And typically when people are doing a background check on any person, they're going to look at court records, they're going to look at criminal records, they might, depending on what the background check is for, they're going to look at motor vehicle records, they're going to look at business records, incarceration records, and sex offender registry. If you scroll down even a little bit lower, we also have records at the county level. So you could really dig deep and find records as directly as you could possibly get them at the city, at the county level, and we have provided all of these resources here for you, so you don't have to do a lot of homework finding them. We keep this database updated, so come on down to sheriffsdepartment.net, and you can get started on doing a background check on yourself. And let's just take a look at the most probably sought after record type when it comes to background checks, and that's the criminal record. So this is from Arizona Department of Public Safety. It's a direct resource, and they have a couple of different options. The only problem is it is state specific, so if you have anything in Texas or Florida or whatever, Oregon, it's not going to cover that unless you select the option for the national check, which costs a little bit more. But what's interesting is certain states will allow you to do a self background check, and if you scroll down to the bottom here, so you will have to look for these things. All the resources that we give you here for all the 50 states, just check and read through the page, and you actually might find something specific for doing a background check on myself. So they got this option called record reviews, and individuals that wish to review their criminal record can actually complete it's called a record review packet, and you're actually able to do it directly through the state and check what information they have available on you and what other people might be, if you're getting hired or for whatever reason. People do background checks even when they date each other nowadays, so there's a whole scope of reasons why people do these things. But you do have an option here, and some states will give you an option. It's a specific background check on yourself, so only you can pull this, and at times they won't charge you any money for it. You just gotta apply. There could be a waiting period there. If you don't want to wait the 15 days, use the other resources that we have available for you. You can also check court records. So I'm actually just Googling Arizona court records here, and you could use Google for a lot of these things, or like I said, we already did the research for you, so why do that? But I'm just saying, like, it's out there. You can locate it even using Google, and typically what you have is you'll have multiple courts. You have different types of courts that cover different kinds of cases. So if you want to look at civil records, you want to find the court that deals with civil records. If you want to look at criminal records, you want to make sure you're looking at specific courts, because sometimes people will look at one court and they're going to assume that that's the only one, but they actually will have a couple of different databases that you want to take a look at to make sure you're covering everything. So that's another thing you want to look at. If you have ever been to prison, you want to check the DOC, the Department of Corrections. And this could be done for free. There's the sex offender registry that could be also looked at if these types of records could possibly be out there. There are multiple other things that people will look at, and we actually have compiled a list of the most common and the most sought after record types when it comes to doing background checks. So come on down to sheriffsdepartment.net. We give you all these resources. On top of the background checks, we have special pages for criminal records, court records, inmate search, vital records, and then warrant searches. And through time, we're going to continue adding on. So I'll drop a link in the description, or just type sheriffsdepartment.net in your browser and start on your background check.